everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how a narcissist thinks compared to how you think, and why a narcissist will never change. When you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you are in this you're on a constant merry-go-round, go around and around, hoping this person is going to change, believing they're going to change, knowing they can change. If only they would do this, if only you could show them how much you love them, if only you could convince them how great your life could be if they did this. A narcissist looks at things completely different. While you are hoping, praying, wishing, dreaming that they will change, they only want you to recognize their superiority. A narcissist is selfish to the core. It's who they are as people. That is the only thing that matters. Them. You are nothing. Most people love their family, their children, their friends, their animals. A narcissist only loves themselves. What I really try to get across in my videos is the reality of who a narcissist is so that you can have the best life possible. The first step in that is recognizing who the narcissist is. A common thing that people say is, I believe my narcissist can change. Do you think the narcissist can change? How can I get the narcissist to change? The reality is that you have to change. Being involved with a narcissist is really one of the worst things that can happen to somebody. A narcissist will utterly destroy you. Have you ever been in a situation where you did something for somebody and you found out later who the person really was, that the person wasn't doing what they said that they were going to do? So you'll say to yourself, well, I never would have done that if I knew what they were really thinking. I never would have done that if I knew what they were going to do, if I knew they were going to do this. That's how it is with a narcissist. They are that type of person. A narcissist doesn't care about anybody else, but they recognize that that isn't acceptable, that other people don't feel that way, and that in order to get their needs met, they have to placate you to a degree. They don't agree with it, though. What they want is you to just recognize their superiority, and that is how they want to go through life. We might look at a relationship as give and take, so do they, except for them. They're the takers, you're the giver. It doesn't go give and take each person. They want their needs met at the expense of your needs if necessary. Recently, I was watching a movie with my kids. So we're sitting on my bed watching a movie, or we're trying to, and we have two dogs. One of the dogs was not having it. He just sat up. He had locked eyes with me, and he's just whining. So I'm trying to figure out what was wrong. And so I said, all right, guys, can you put the movie on pause? I'm going to take the dog outside. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom. So I take him outside. He goes to the bathroom. I put him back in the bed. I'm thinking he's going to settle in. No. So then I said, all right, guys, he starts whining again. Can you put the movie on pause again? I'm going to see if he wants some water. So I go in the other room. I literally filled a cup up with water. I'm bringing it to the bed and serving him. And he drank the water happily, but he didn't lay down. He still sat there looking at me, whining. So, we can't watch the movie because it's paused. All right, hold on a second. Let me do this. Then I'm getting him treats. Nothing satisfied him. Then I recognized, you know what? I was like, guys, he doesn't want you here. This is something this dog does. It's kind of funny in a way, but it was annoying this night. He decides sometimes that only me and the other dog are allowed on the bed. The kids are not welcome. And he will just cry and cry and cry until either I put him in his crate or the kids leave. So I wasn't going to have the kids leave. So he recognized, oh my gosh, he wants the kids to leave. So my daughter's like, can you just put him in his crate? So I put the dog in his crate, and he was fine. And once he's in his crate, he just lays down and goes to sleep. So he was in his crate. He lay down and slept. And then after the movie, the kids left, and the dog went on the bed, and he was fine. He was sleeping. He was happy. The narcissist looks at us like that whining dog. They're just annoyed when we have a need. Oh, gosh, here she goes again. That's how they look at us, and they will just shut us down. Now, they might placate us a little bit if they feel they can do something easily, a little I love you or something like that. Maybe they'll do that if they think that'll shut us up. But if it doesn't work quickly, they'll go right into a silent treatment. They'll yell at us. They'll just leave. That's how a narcissist looks at you all the time. And I know that this is painful to hear, but the reality is it is more painful to stay with somebody like that, to stay with somebody who is going to hurt you and not feel guilt. That's the other thing. A narcissist doesn't feel guilt ever. They never feel bad about it. Recently, I went to pick my kids up at church and they were still hanging out with their friends. So I ended up talking to this other mother. So I knew this other mother because we were in a group together over the summer of mothers and daughters, and we would get together and hang out by the campfire and just chat. It was nice. So recently, another mother in the group started an additional group. And this was a cooking club. So she has people over to her house on Sundays, and the mothers and daughters, and they cook and hang out or whatever. I can't do that group because I work on Sundays. I assumed this other woman was invited to the group at the very least. So just for small talk, I said, oh, so are you going to so-and-so's house to do the group? And she looked at me, huh? I'm like, oh, the cooking club? And then I realized right then I had made a huge mistake. And she just said, I guess I wasn't invited to that. I didn't know what to say. I was horrified. I felt so bad. So I'm like stammering and I'm like, well, I'm like, I don't go to it either. I work on Sundays. I'm like, but I don't think I would have went anyways. It's not really my type of thing. And she just was so hurt. Like I didn't know what to say. I just wanted to get out of there. And so when I left, I was telling my kids about this, and I still feel guilty. I still feel bad. I unintentionally hurt somebody and I feel bad. And, I'm laying in bed that night and I'm thinking, should I email her? Should I say something? What should I do? Should I tell the other mother so she knows? I mean, I feel bad. I feel horrible. A narcissist never feels that way. A narcissist will cheat on you. A narcissist will run up your credit cards, will drive drunk with your kids. They won't feel guilty. There's no guilt. It is absolutely crucial for you to understand the reality of who this person is. Recently, my husband has gotten involved with AA again. Now, before I talk about AA, I just want to preface what I'm about to say with this. I do not have a personal issue with AA. I don't know enough about AA to have a real opinion. My opinion is solely related to my narcissistic husband going to AA. I know that there are people that credit AA with saving their lives. And if somebody is an addict and you go to AA and it helps you, I am all for it. My personal opinion, and this is from me, who I've never been to an AA meeting. I'm not an alcoholic. I've never gone to Al-Anon. So my only experience is with my husband going. So what I say, please take it with that in mind. He has recently started going to AA. Again, he had gone before. He hadn't gone for a long time. So he texted me out of the blue to tell me this good news, that he's been going to AA and he has a sponsor and he's been reading the big book. He really wanted me to be excited for him. I believe he wants me to think to myself, wow, he's really trying. I should invite him back to the house. My husband doesn't want to get divorced. He wants to still be married. He wants to be together with me and our kids again. He doesn't do anything to make that happen. He just wants me to have him come back to the house, and he doesn't intend to change. That's crucial to say. I've said this to him. I've said it. I think you just want to come to the house as you are, not change, and treat me how you do. Give me a silent treatment if you want. And that's how I think you want to be. And he just says nothing. He doesn't deny it. So please understand, he's not actively doing anything. He just wants to come back. It's like talked about the give and take. He wants me to give something huge, and he was happy to take it, but give nothing. So he seems to think that I'm going to be very excited about him going to AA. So I said to him, what about your mental illness? At that point, he shut down. He said, I knew I shouldn't have told you. And then silent treatment. My husband has been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. This happened, I can't remember now, it was either the end of December 2019 or the beginning of January 2020. A psychiatrist diagnosed him with this. He doesn't believe he has it. He believes I talked the psychiatrist into it, so therefore it isn't real. He really believes I have the power to convince a psychiatrist of something against the psychiatrist's will. He believes, and I guess this is sort of true in a way, he believes that if I hadn't told the psychiatrist certain things, he never would have diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder. And I guess that's true. My husband wasn't saying anything. The psychiatrist asked me what types of things he does. I said these things right in front of my husband. He didn't deny them. And the psychiatrist came to this conclusion. I completely agree with this. I don't need the psychiatrist to say he has narcissistic personality disorder. I've said this in several of my videos. A mental illness is by opinion only, but when somebody is seriously mentally ill, it's obvious. I don't need a psychiatrist to tell me. If the psychiatrist had said he isn't a narcissist, I would still believe that he was. So having the confirmation is, I guess, good, but it doesn't really matter. And my husband does nothing about it anyways. He doesn't believe it. He blames me. I did this. It's not true. His problem, according to him, is that he is an alcoholic. So he likes AA. My experience with AA, only my experience with narcissists, is that AA gives them a convenient excuse. Nothing is their fault. Now, I understand that at AA, you're supposed to accept responsibility. But what my husband gets out of AA is he doesn't have to accept responsibility for anything he's done wrong. It's because he's an alcoholic. Now, I also said to my husband, no, I wasn't being that argumentative with him because I knew if I did, he was going to give me a silent treatment. So I'm speaking matter of fact to you. I was actually somewhat sugarcoating this with him because it really bothers me even now just to get a silent treatment from him. So I said to him, have you been drinking? And he said, so I don't know if this is true or not, but he told me he hasn't had a drink in 16 months. So if that's true, I don't know how he's blaming what has happened in the last 16 months over his drinking. So I mentioned that. So he's saying that narcissism has nothing to do with it. It's his alcoholism, that even though he hasn't been drinking, he has an alcoholic mindset. And the mindset is what has caused these issues. It's not what he's done. It's the alcohol, even when he's not drinking. And then he went on to tell me that he'll always be an alcoholic. Always. So what I'm getting out of this is he doesn't have to accept responsibility for anything because he's an alcoholic. So even if he hasn't had a drink in 20 years, anything he does wrong is still because he's an alcoholic. This is how he thinks. This is his mentality. The mental illness doesn't matter. My personal opinion is that he drinks or he drank because he's messed so many things up in his life. The alcohol is a consequence. It's not the cause. But for him, he gets to AA, I'm an alcoholic. Lots of alcoholics ruin their lives. That's what we do. It's not his fault. He lies to me. Well, that's what alcoholics do. He charges up credit cards. He drives drunk with the kids. That's what alcoholics do. So now he's in this big mindset and he's spitting out all this AA jargon. I don't understand. I'm not an alcoholic. I could never understand him. He's making a big difference in his life. He's changing. If I can't see that, that's my problem. He still doesn't ask about the kids. He still doesn't try to rectify anything that he's done wrong. It's all because he's an addict. That's narcissism. Nothing is ever their fault. So if you're with a narcissist and you're hoping this person is going to change, you're praying this person is going to change, the ugly reality truly is that they never accept responsibility. And if you don't see things for reality, you're never going to change. Now, one additional thing I'm going to say, and this hurt me deeply when my husband told me this, he also told me that it's my fault he's an alcoholic. The reason it's my fault is because, and I don't even remember saying this, but I do believe that I probably did say this. I just don't personally remember it. My brother-in-law is also an alcoholic, and he had a rough time a few years ago. He was also in a mental hospital. He was buying drugs, and he got arrested. There was a big issue with him. And everybody was saying that it's a disease and this and that. And I do feel this way, so I probably did say it. I just don't personally remember it. So it's hard. It's a little bit hard for me because I don't remember the context and when I said it. But I apparently said that I don't believe it's a disease like cancer. That's the quote my husband had. And apparently, and I don't, I think it's a mental illness. I don't think it's a disease like cancer. I just don't. So apparently, when I said that, my husband held on to it. And because I have that view, and I said that he, my husband, didn't get treatment early enough to stop some of these problems that happened, even though he's today telling me that any problem in the future is all related to his alcoholism. But still, he's saying that none of this would have happened if I hadn't said that, because he didn't get treatment because I said it's not a disease. That's the mindset of a narcissist. So I hope this video helped. I'm just trying to give some examples from my own life of the type of mindset a narcissist has. I recognize not all narcissists are the same, but they do all have the same mentality. They're victims. They're looking for other people to blame, and you are a convenient person to blame. So if you're hoping this person changes, it's not possible if they're really a narcissist. Thank you for watching this video. Bless you all. I know how painful it is to go through this and to hear some of these things. I'm really with you. I'm really pulling for us all to get through this together. God bless you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please like the video if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if all goes well, I'll see you on Friday. I'm planning at this moment right now to make my final video on Friday about my husband being in the mental hospital, part 2 of that. So please stay tuned for that. Have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.